Well, this has been a late start to the day. Partly entirely my own fault. I was in no hurry to get up. Partly because I knew one of the first things I would get to do is ride up a hill. I had two other problems this morning. First, the big pile of horse or cow poop there. I discovered that the new idler touches the seat back. And I'd kind of prefer that it not do that, because that will add resistance to the drivetrain. And then I had to get the brake lights working properly again, and the little metal piece that keeps those in place popped out when I tried to adjust it. It got bent out of shape again yesterday. So that was a fun start to the day. And then of course I get to start by going uphill. And the drivetrain is still noisier than I'd like. We'll see how that shapes up during the course of the day. Not sure if the sound I'm hearing is coming from the front or the back. And I'm also not sure where my GPS is trying to take me. Magpie. But I hear something someplace that's rubbing. And I don't know what that's from. If that's the seat or something else. I don't know where my GPS thinks I'm going. It wants me to make a U-turn. I'm quite certain I don't want to make a U-turn. Holy smokes. Oh, this is the worst thing I have ever written up in my life. How steep is this? Holy crap. Who thought this was a good idea? Oh, and now a sharp right turn. I can't make that sharp right turn. What the heck? Good night, mercy. I've been in Starnberg now. I'm Starnberger See for approximately 2.5 hours. Left my hotel around probably 10:30, which was delayed because I had that little problem with the idler, the new idler being in very close proximity to the back of my seat. And I thought that was it for the day, the end of the drama. But then I left my track to go and see the Starnberger See, which was not easy to find. And since then, I've been trying to get the hell out of here. Yes, where was I? Ah, yes. Trying to leave Starnberg. It's just kind of the nightmare that keeps on giving. So, I finally found a place where I could view the lake. And then I had to try to get back on track in the middle of a busy city with a great deal of traffic. People honking at me because I was stopping to let the fire trucks through. Turns that I needed to make but couldn't because of traffic. Then I walked down some sidewalks. I made a wrong turn. I walked down some more sidewalks. Then I found a porta potty and finally got on track for a while until I got off track again. And then the track decided to take me up a hill. And that was highly unpleasant. And now I'm in the right place, but I'm not actually sure I can get out of there. Can I drive under? Is there enough room? Am I low enough? Ooh, I just made it. I will never, ever, ever come back to Starnberg with a bicycle. If you want to enjoy Starnberg, take the train, the Straßenbahn. The train station's right on the promenade. You can sit and enjoy the beautiful, beautiful lake and never have to ride through this shithole of a town that I am not out of yet. I think I'm getting close, but I'm not out of it yet. It is 1 p.m. and I have now ridden 3.73 miles at an average speed of 7.3 miles per hour. And it's 1 p.m. and I have about 60 miles to do. So do we want to place bets now or later on if I'll get there before dark? Gott sei Dank, ich bin draußen von Starnberg. Das war fürchterlich. That was awful. I rode along the bike path on the main road for a short bit, and I don't know where I am now. Aber Hauptsache, es ist nicht Starnberg. Main thing, it's not Starnberg. Not going well. I'm averaging 9.3 miles per hour and I've only gone 10.5 miles and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. At the current speed, which is what I've been averaging, on hilly routes the whole trip, It will be quite late when I get there. Enjoy the view. Brief though it is, those are the Ammergau Alps. But what I had to do to get to them, I'd rather not talk about right now. The chain came off that idler in the rear, the new one, while I was climbing up a hill in the middle of traffic. And then we go down again. Is that an attempted pavement? Does not appear that anybody drives here, potentially for obvious reasons. Ride with GPS seems to think this is pavement. And while it appears there are portions that once upon a time contained pavement, it most certainly now is not paved. All of this to see a stupid lake. And you ask yourself, is it really worth it? I don't know, I haven't seen the lake. But it really just encapsulates the way the entire day has gone. Still can't see the lake. You can see cows. See the lake. Welcome to the south end of the Ammersee. Off in the distance are I think the Allgäu Alps. It's been a hellacious day to get here. Just kind of everything is going wrong. I'm needed 2 hours to get out of the town of Starnberg, and just sometimes nothing goes right. I'm not sure, given the hour of the day, that I'm gonna make it to the Forgensee near Füssen. I think I just don't have enough time. Well, I've seen the Ammersee now. And I looked at my map, and there's a big climb coming. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait until I get to Schongau, and then I will make a decision on whether or not to try to make it to the Forgensee. I hate to cancel last minute on somebody for a reservation, but I don't think I can make it that far. I don't know if you can see over the tall grass, but there's mountains out there, and they are pretty. Get out of the way, dude. Share it. There, now you can see them. I love the view, but I don't love the work that is involved in getting the view. And therein lies the dichotomy of my cycle touring experience. A love for mountains and a hatred for riding uphill. Up ahead there's actually some snow, it looks like, on some of the further back peaks. It looks like there's even some over on the other way through a gap in the mountains. I'm getting my quota for wrong turns in today. I just made another wrong turn. It is so hard with these roads going off at all sorts of angles, and you may or may not have road sign names to go off of. So you try to understand what the GPS is saying, and you think you're going the right spot, and then you're not. No day is complete without a little gravel. On the one hand, you get more time to enjoy the sights because you're going very slow. On the other hand, when it's taking you 23 minutes to do 5 miles, it's the middle of the afternoon, and you've only done 20 miles so far out of your 56 or probably 60, given the unfortunate detours through Starnberg. Yeah, it's 3:15 in the afternoon. You do start to worry if you can really make those remaining 40 miles before supper time. but I do think that this is a very good advertisement for the amazing durability of a 21.5 kilogram carbon fiber Velomobile. Ooh. Because it has been subjected to quite harsh driving conditions in its first 2 weeks of life. It's certainly not an advertisement for the outright speed of a Velomobile, unless you watch my descents where I spend half the time braking so I don't miss my turns or hit a pothole or goodness knows what. I will say this about this portion of the route: it's at least quiet. Basically, the only traffic is cyclists. If it weren't for the design of the outbuildings, this could be northern Minnesota. Except I think our gravel is a little bit more civilized than this. Somebody's flying a little plane, an RC plane up there. Probably because it's a Modell Flugplatz model airplane. I don't know, place, field, whatever you want to call it. Ooh, more gravel. Half of Bavaria's in my wheel wells right now. Almost made it under, but not quite. Servus. What's faster, a jogger or me riding uphill in a Velomobile? I think it's fairly abundantly clear right now which is faster. The jogger is still ahead of me. I don't seem to be gaining on him. Certainly, he's not completely dropping me, but he is making more headway. These are the things you think about when you're in the midst of a long climb. I think this is the big one for the day, besides that special piece of hell that was leaving Starnberg. Basically, with Velomobile riding, unless you're going to go to Südtirol and ride the Isaac and the Edge Radvigs, if you want mountains, don't bring a Velomobile unless you like to go slow uphill. I don't like to go slow uphill. It's hot, it's sweaty. I like flat. problem is the scenery's boring when you're in the flat. Now you as my audience, farm machine, you as my audience, would you rather watch me suffer uphill in nice scenery, or would you rather watch me go fast in boring scenery? You can tell me below in the comments. I'm in the middle of today's big climb, and it is a big one. I must be climbing up some sort of saddle or something. It's a large piece of hell. I've not been all that impressed with the way cars have been passing. There aren't that many of them, but I want to jump in a nice cold shower right now. And then sleep. That car was nicer about past. They're always nicer when I'm filming. Here in the sun, it's misery. And I'm only about halfway up this climb. Just keeps going and going and going. And I wish I could say on the other side was an equally steep downhill, but that's not true. Kind of goes to a hilly plateau. According to my elevation profile. Well, at least I get my own lane, I guess. I've just canceled my hotel room for tonight. This is an 800-foot climb. I'm about, I don't know, maybe 2/3 of the way up, and I just can't keep going. There's a 0% chance that I can make it to the Forgensee. It was just too much for one day. I would give anything for that truck to have offered 13% gradient right now, to have offered to throw my bike in the back and take me to the top of this awful, awful hill. am not a powerful rider. I do short climbs, maybe 100 feet, not 800. So instead of going to the Forgensee, we go to Peiting, which is to the east of Schongau. And then I'll redo my route tomorrow and find a way. Are we there yet? Still 13%. To cut across to Kempten, Imalgoy, and shorten up that day as well. Does not help that I've been dealing with this runny nose, because that zaps my power when I'm climbing. Oh, gosh, another truck. Take me with, please. They say suffering builds character. And if that's true, at the end of this climb, I'm gonna have enough character for the entire village of Peiting. Someday I'm gonna look back on this and I don't know what I'm gonna say to myself, especially when I go back and review this film footage. I will probably say, what the bleep 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 bleep, bleepity bleep bleep, were you thinking? And that would be fair. Very fair. The climb is done, and so am I. But I can't get a hold of the place in Sweden, Forgensee, so I will have to keep calling them. But the view from the top of the climb is nothing special, unfortunately. So I'm just here in the shade trying to dry out a little bit, and then there's another 10 or so miles to go before I get to my new hotel. The mosquitoes are thick here in the woods. At least it's cooler. There's not much traffic. But I'm really tired of going uphill. Oh, that was close pulling. There have been a couple of little downhills that were kind of short and steep. But I am just struggling so much with the climbing. And my runny nose is definitely not helping. Because I just don't get the same kind of air intake into my lungs as normal. Alright, I think the worst is over. Bye-bye. I finally got a hold of the hotel that I reserved for tonight. And they were very understanding about me needing to cancel. It's unfortunate. I would have liked to have gone to the Forgensee. I've been there before though, so it's not like I haven't seen it. And then I was all excited about this new little bit of bike path with this perfectly smooth pavement. And I started riding forward and I rode right off the edge of the pavement. Because that is how today has gone. Okay, well, does this keep going? I guess it does. Oh, I don't think I want to do that. And the porta potty's locked. I have absolutely no idea where this goes. And I don't think it's going where I want it to go, because I want to go to my hotel. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, make it through before more traffic comes. Not far absteigen, do you think? Guess they did kind of leave the bike path open. I probably should have found a more complicated way into Peiting, because I think I'm having to gain back most of the elevation that I lost on my descent. And my legs are pretty much cooked. Crazy thing is, the elevation has so far, according to my GPS, is really not that much. 1,870 in 35 miles. That's really not that bad, but I think my sinus issue is just killing me. Maybe if my nose wasn't all plugged up, I'd be doing okay. But I'm not going to come back to try it again anytime soon.